Hello, I'm Reema Chandra and welcome to Cooking Without Boundaries. So today I decided to prepare some quick lunch items, and we'll start with salmon sliders, which is very easy to prepare, and salmon of course is easy to get in any grocery store, supermarket. It has two parts. One is preparing the dressing and the other is how to cut up salmon sliders, and then we'll go to the stove to make it. So let's prepare the dressing first. We start with half cup of softened cream cheese, which is fat-free cream cheese. Go with that. 2 teaspoons of dried craisins or craisins, 2 teaspoons of almond slices, 1/4 cup of chopped pears, 1 teaspoon of honey, and I grated some fresh lemon here and we'll add that. That's about a teaspoon of it. We'll mix it later. Let me show you how to cut up salmon sliders out of salmon fillet. So what I did was I took a small bowl. Sliders are smaller sizes than the burger pieces. So I took a small bowl. I went in the center here. Few things to watch is thickness of fillet should be uniform in that area. Secondly, it should be skinned, otherwise it won't cut. And salmon, most fishes are very soft to go through, so it will go through, and then you press hard with both hands like this. There we have. There it is. You pound it a little to flatten a little more, and then you put it on your platter. Cut up another one. Press hard, go through this fillet. Sometimes you may have to just wiggle a little with your finger to get it out. And here it is. I have this salmon piece here. I'll use it to make some sort of stir fry later. And do the same with this. I have cut up some sliders earlier, so we have about 5 of those here. So we'll get started with cooking them up. Let's get to stove. Salmon sliders are something which is very small and it'll get cooked quickly. So we should start and finish right away. Do not move away from the stove because it can overcook the salmon sliders. So let's start with 1 tablespoon of butter. Melt it, and while that is melting, I'll start putting salmon sliders here. Just place them without crowding the stove. As many as you can. I have 7 here and they all fit. Usually it takes about 5 to 7 minutes for an inch of salmon to cook, an inch thickness for salmon to cook. This is less than an inch, so we would probably be done in 4 minutes. We'll add some freshly pounded black pepper. You probably have seen me do this many times by now. There is something about flavor of freshly ground black pepper. About half a teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle it on top of each slider. And let's turn, the flame should be medium, and let's turn the sliders over. That looks very good. They almost look like scallops, but they're not. So you could do a April Fool with these. Make them look like scallops. Okay. While the salmons are cooking, another 2 minutes it will take, I am going to add some sliced onion. Any onion will do. This is sliced Vidalia onion, which is a little sweeter in taste. On the side, there is a little bit of space left in the pan. Let it, excuse me, let it get sauteed in the butter and juices of salmon. And these caramelized onions would also go on the bread when we put together sliders. Everything looks beautiful here. Once this is done in another minute, we will turn the stove off, go and put together sliders with buns. Now on to our next dish. It's called veggie fries. Very simple, back to basics. I have cut up some vegetables here: butternut squash, parsnips, sweet potatoes, and red beet in long thin sticks shape. And I'm going to add to my hot pan half teaspoon of cooking oil and half teaspoon of butter. The reason I'm using butter today in my cooking is I made sliders and now I'm making fries, and both of these, they fall in fast food category, and I like a little bit of buttery smell flavor to the fast food idea. So pan is hot, the butter is smoking, and we add our sticks to it. See all the colors here, the wine color, the orange color, the white color, all of it is going to cook together. We'll let it saute and get pan fried, and then about 3 to 4 minutes later we'll put the lid on back on the pan, let it cook for a little bit, remove the pan, and then let it cook further. So altogether I would say about 10 minutes of cooking for these veggie fries. We'll come back to it when it is done. So it's been about 4 minutes and I see that my fry pieces are taking colors from each other. Orange is turning a little bit red and white is turning God knows what, rainbow color. But the reason I brought in red beet here is to add a lot of nutrition to your fries. Even though sweet potatoes or parsnips, they largely provide carbohydrate, there is nutrition coming in from red beet in addition to the taste. In terms of quantity, how much to put in the pan, I like to lay it flat and not overcrowd the pan. So I have about 2 cups of sticks here. If you have a bigger pan, you can make more, and the proportions of each vegetable also is your choice entirely. How much of carrots or parsnips or sweet potatoes or butternut squash or red beet you want to mix together. Whatever you have, make sure they are hard vegetables, oftentimes root vegetables. Green pepper will not do it. So they should be hard vegetables and do not overcrowd them, and that's what will lead you to decide how much you want to make. So I'm going to put lid on it, lower the flame a little so that it cooks, the vegetable cooks, and we'll come back and remove the lid, let it sit for 2 more minutes, season it with salt and pepper, and be done at that point. On to our next dish and the last dish today, crunchy cabbage soup. For crunchy cabbage soup, I chopped up about 2 cups of cabbage, and I don't want to overcook it, and that's why I'm calling it crunchy. I'll start with 1/4 teaspoon of butter, add 1/4 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 2 tablespoons of chopped onion. Let's saute it. You have to keep stirring here and get the ginger off of bottom here, because you don't want things to burn at the bottom here. 30 seconds of sauteing these onion pieces right here. It caramelizes, it becomes glossy, and at that point I will add my cut up cabbage. Stir it together. This is a soup, so we do not need a whole lot of oil. We will be adding water, so anything that is sticking at the bottom will come off, so don't worry if there is a little bit of that. Make the flame to be medium at this point. Smells very good with the ginger and onion in there. I like to have some freshly crushed peppers, so about 1/4 teaspoon of freshly crushed pepper. Here they go. Stir it together and add, I have water which is already hot here, add about 3 cups of hot water. Let it simmer. I'm not going to cover this with lid. What happens is, if there is something green inside and you cover it with lid, the green color changes due to an acidic change in there, and it will become pale green or dull green. I want the crispy green there, so I'm not going to cover it. Here I have 1/4 cup of peas, which was frozen previously. I put it out at room temperature for however many minutes, but if you didn't have time to leave it on room temperature, then put it in a bowl and nuke it for 2 minutes in microwave, and it should be ready to go. After the cabbage is done, in another 4 minutes, I'm going to add these peas to the cabbage, season it with salt, and our soup would be ready to go. So we wanted to make quick, easy, healthy and tasty lunch items, and we did that. We made salmon sliders, which you saw how easy it was and how we cut out sliders from salmon fillet. I had fun doing that, and you can get your children to do that. We made veggie fries, which is basically hard root vegetables cut up in sticks and then pan fried. Then we made crunchy cabbage soup, and we garnished the soup with chopped red pepper to add colors and some lemon zest. We have 3 items here: the quick soup that we prepared, the quick fries that we prepared, and the quick sliders that we prepared. All of it very tasty, healthy, quick, and easy to make. We lifted some boundaries today. I was thinking, I don't know what I'll be serving at lunch time, and here I come up with these 3 dishes in a quick short amount of time. I want you to do the same and keep cooking without boundaries. I had fun cooking today, and I hope you did too. I love to cook without boundaries, and more than that, I love to hear from you, your suggestions, your feedback, your comments, and I ask you to challenge me to cook something that you would like to see on the show. Write to me at reema@sharontv.com or call me at 617-504-5136. Check out these episodes online at sharontv.com. See you next time. Cooking without boundaries means we come out of our boundaries that we put ourselves in, whether it is type of cuisine, country, culture, lack of skills or lack of ingredients or lack of time, you name it. Free yourself of any such restrictive lines, cross over and cook without boundaries. I want to cook healthy, tasty, and easy meals for my family. I am one of you, and if I can do it, so can you. So let's get cooking.